All right, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. The Super Bowl episode for Super Bowl LIX. Josh, we're doing the LIX this year. Number 49, I believe, LIX. For those of you rocking with the Roman numerals, always cool to see that come out on the graphic. Folks, Super Bowl week, the big one, the big Super Bowl Sunday, Josh. We got KC, the Philadelphia Eagles. We have a best bet for this game.
Mm-hmm.
You might already know that if you're subscribed to the newsletter. You know who we're rocking with. Josh is here to break down our play for Super Bowl 49 here. He's going to give you folks a little bit of something he likes as a same game parlay, and then maybe a couple other feeling bets that he's looking forward to Sunday. Josh, this year feels different, right? We know who these teams are. We've seen them play each other in this game, not that long ago. So,
Yeah.
how do you kind of approach, going about gambling on this thing when it feels like we know these two teams about as well as we could?
Yeah. I think it's one of those, man, where you take a little bit of that last Super Bowl into context, but it's also just I also look at it more from like a prop standpoint. Like if I'm gonna look at that last Super Bowl and how it played out, but like as far as how much do I use that last Super Bowl and like into take it into account for like how this game might play out. There's like a couple of things, but not really, not really so much. Just because I look at some guys like, Devonte Smith is older and more mature now, and Jalen Hurts is older and more mature now, and this offense, that Eagles offense is just like completely different because it's not so much Jalen Hurts probably going to be dropping back and slinging the rock in this game. It's going to be more Saquon Barkley running the football, and so the offense is completely different. They got a different coordinator there now. The Chiefs are, at least coaching wise, are pretty well the same, and some of their core pieces are still the same. So there's a little bit, not much has changed there, but I personally take it as a completely different game. I look at what's transpired leading up to this game and what I think will happen, and maybe there's a couple things here and there that we can take from that past game, but overall, I don't really buy too much into it. What I will say though is that obviously, as with every year in the Super Bowl, lots of props that we like. Not gonna obviously bombard the folks and just say what is with 20 different props plays or something like that, but we got a couple that we really like here, and so looking forward to diving into this one.
And folks, before Josh gives us that play, go ahead and do us a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment down below. We appreciate it. Folks, you can also subscribe to our newsletter completely free. The
Yep.
link for that will be in the description. Some folks might be watching this already knowing where we're going with this one, but Josh, for those who are yet to subscribe, I want you to let the fine folks know who we're cheering for this Sunday.
Yeah. All right. So the play: Kansas City Chiefs -1.5 for 3 units here. This isn't a huge play, folks. Like if we had to do this show as soon as the AFC and NFC Championship game was over, this might have been at first blush, it would have been a 7, 8, 10 unit play, and I would have been, yeah, we're taking Chiefs, short line, done, over with. But as I talked about in the newsletter here, it kind of, as I looked more into this game, it's not so much necessarily that I lost confidence in it. It's just that you look a little bit deeper and you realize, yeah, Eagles got a good squad, man. Eagles they're a darn good football team. This game is going to be a good game. And actually, kind of a reason why I wouldn't hate it if somebody hit like there's bets that you can make out there where it's like the team to win but by 1 to 6 points kind of thing. And like if you want a little extra juice on your play there, I like that as well, for that, because you're going to get paid a little bit more on that one. But and because I think this game is absolutely a one-score game. But in saying that, Kansas City -1.5 here for 3 units. We're not making it a huge play. We're obviously going to have some money elsewhere with some props as well here. Now, looking at this game, like you mentioned, Bryce, these two teams played a couple Super Bowls ago here. The Eagles in this game have more talent than the Kansas City Chiefs. Like this, the Eagles, if you're looking strictly on paper, the Eagles are a better team in this. But this isn't just played on paper. This obviously played on a field, and Patrick Mahomes is the great equalizer, as I like to call him here. He is the great eraser, like any great quarterback here. Couple of things that this game comes down to for me. How does Steve Spagnuolo choose to defend the Eagles' offense? The biggest mismatch potentially in this game is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. Is going to be the Eagles' defensive line against the Kansas City Chiefs' offensive line, and then maybe the second biggest is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs defensive line going up against the Eagles' offensive line. I should say, be in Eagles' favor in that case as well. Here's what I look at, a couple of numbers to throw at the folks here. I'm trying not to go all over the place because I got lots of numbers swirling in my head here and that I'm trying to get out for the people here. This is obviously going to rely on Saquon Barkley here. And the reason why I like this play, the Chiefs in this spot, is not only from the coaching staff side of things. I trust the Chiefs coaching staff and obviously the quarterback as well a little bit more. But I believe that the Kansas City Chiefs are a little bit less dependent on a good game script here. The Eagles have played from ahead all season. They haven't really been pushed in a lot of cases. They have been able to go Saquon Barkley, run it down your throat, smother the football game, smother the clock, bleed it out, let's go home with a W, and not really being pushed in any way, shape, or form. It's kind of continued into the playoffs as well, and they're going to get pushed in this game. This is a step up in class. No way, no other way to look at it for the Eagles here. A number here, and this is courtesy of Warren Sharp. If you don't follow him, would recommend that you follow him. He delivers a lot of great numbers and a lot of great analysis and stats and stuff like that on Twitter. Jalen Hurts' splits when pressured are completely different from when he's kept clean. Out of 37 quarterbacks when he is pressured, Jalen Hurts ranks 37th, dead last in success rate, dead last in EPA per attempt. That's expected points above average per attempt. 33rd out of 37th quarterbacks in sack rate, and 32nd out of 37 quarterbacks in yards per attempt. Spags, we know, is just, this is the guy. Playoff time, you need it. He's going to bring some heat. And on that note, the Kansas City Chiefs and Steve Spagnuolo blitzes at the 6th highest rate in the NFL this season between the second and fourth quarter. So what we see typically from Spags is first quarter, let's see what you got. All right, let's see what you're going to do to us. And then, all right, now we're going to turn up the heat a little bit. We're going to bring some pressure at you, and then we're going to see what you really got. If you can, hang in the kitchen here a little bit, hang in the pocket. That's what this game comes down to for me, Bryce, is Jalen Hurts at some point in this game, multiple times in this game, is going to need to sit in the pocket, and he's going to need to deliver a couple of big-time throws. Can Jalen Hurts do that, right? Specifically on third down. There's going to be some third downs that he's going to have to deliver. Can he do that? And my answer is going to be maybe a couple times, but when it comes down to it and it matters most, Jalen Hurts is not going to be able to deliver in the biggest situation, my biggest play in the game, in my opinion. He's going to have to make a play from the pocket. That's where you still got to win football games, even though we see him extending plays and all that stuff in the NFL. You still got to make throws from the pocket. The other thing here is the Philadelphia Eagles. This is obviously going to run through Saquon Barkley here. Who has been on an absolute ridiculous tear and has recorded, I think it's at least 119 rushing yards in the last 5 games. And maybe the last 6 out of the last 7 or something crazy like that. In 18 playoff games for Steve Spagnuolo-led defense, no running back has rushed for more than 90 yards, which is kind of interesting, a really interesting stat. Now, how much that really matters, I don't know, because the Eagles are 3-1 this season when Saquon rushes for less than 90 yards, so they actually have proven to be able to get it done here. Now, one of the cool analytics side of things, once again, courtesy of Warren Sharp here, that I liked looking at, that I think is going to really be a strong predictor in the way that this game's going to shake out here. I'm just looking at the number here. Teams in Super Bowl in the postseason since 2007 are 46-16 against the spread, and have covered 74% of the time, pardon me, the team that has the better early down success rate. Now, I'm not going to necessarily get into what early down success rate, like everything that's entailed with it. Basically, it's whether or not you can stay on schedule in early downs, okay? So can you pick up the 4 or 5 yards that you need to on first down, and then pick up the necessary yards that you're supposed to on first down and second down? So the teams that play, that can get the yards they need to on first and second down, essentially stay on schedule, stay ahead of the sticks. those are the teams that typically, almost 3/4 of the time, are going to cover the spread in this game. Now, the Eagles' early down success rate this season offensively, 16th in the NFL. The Chiefs in early down success rate this year, 4th. They're defensively. On offense, the Chiefs are ranked 13th. Defensively, the Eagles are ranked 8th. So this is two offenses that are so-so, about average in early down success rate this season. And there's two defenses that are top 10 in early down success rate at defending that and keeping teams behind the sticks. So that's something else to keep in mind. Now, the Chiefs do rank better than the Eagles in both of those categories. So that's going to be a really strong predictor, I think, in how this Super Bowl kind of shakes out here, is whether or not the Eagles can do what they do and stay ahead of the sticks and keep it in manageable third downs. Because you look at the way the Eagles do it, they get into third down at one of the highest rates in the NFL. They have faced, I think it's the second most third downs in the NFL this season. But they're converting at a high rate because they can run the ball in third and short. They can push it in fourth down as well, and they can get themselves out of these situations. Now, can Spags keep them in maybe some longer third down distances? And maybe can they get off the field on third down, which they haven't really been great at this season, the Kansas City Chiefs defense. So, with all of that being said, the last thing that I'll say on here, I talked about the trenches battle here. I think that the Chiefs defense, or the Chiefs offense, pardon me, I'm confident that they're going to be able to overcome maybe the disadvantage that they have in the trenches against this Eagles defensive line. The Eagles do a great job at preventing any deep shots down the field. So then the Chiefs don't really take deep shots down the field anymore anyways. But I think that the Chiefs, what we could see in this game is maybe them go a little bit of tempo here, go a little bit of no huddle, see them keep that Eagles front four off balance a little bit, keep them a little bit more tired. I think also that also it could be see the quick passing game as well is another thing that we see out of Mahomes get the ball out of his hands really quickly here and see if he can create. I don't anticipate the Kansas City Chiefs, and this will lead into the props a little bit. I don't anticipate the Kansas City Chiefs to have much success on the ground here. This is just a terrible matchup for them. And maybe even the wide receivers as well. Don't know if they'll have a lot of success in this game. This is going to lead into the props. I mean, I do like Travis Kelce in this game. I think that he has to be the difference maker on offense. I also like Patrick Mahomes using his legs in this game. Again, those are foreshadowing into the props here. But working in the Chiefs' favor on the other side as well, Trent McDuffie, Jalen Watson to defend. Hopefully the A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, which could maybe make life a little bit easier for Steve Spagnuolo in perhaps maybe selling out to stop Saquon Barkley here. The last thing that the Chiefs can do, if you tell Spags, listen, you guys are going to lose this game, but it's going to be because Jalen Hurts beat you on a crucial third down, and it's not because Saquon Barkley rushed 25 times for 180 yards in this game. I think Spags would take that. I think he would prefer that. So I think that the Kansas City Chiefs, in all said and done here, they're going to be able to kind of make the necessary plays when it matters most in this. I think that they're less game script dependent, like I mentioned here. The Eagles, in my opinion, need to be up in this game. They need to be able to run the football like they always do in order to win this football game. And I just don't think that they will. Things need to be a little bit too perfect in my mind for the Eagles to win this football game and cover this spread. So I think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be able to overcome this. This is going to be a good football game, Bryce. Like I said, I think if you could take a team to win by 1 to 6 points, I think that's the way this thing shakes out. This is going to be a strong one. This is going to be a fun one. And quite honestly, this isn't a play from us, but I kind of like the under in this game, and a lot of people are going to disagree with that. But I think that this is two defenses that are going to do a great job here. And I think that as a result, we're not going to get a super high scoring game, which would be the exact opposite of what we got a couple of years ago in this. I think the final was like 38-35 or something, whatever it was, 38-33, something, whatever it was. So I like that. That's the play. I hope I got everything out there. I hope that all made sense. Like I said, I got a lot of numbers running in my head here, and I'm just trying to spit it all out for everybody and my analysis and my reason for this. But at the end of the day, Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, It's a tough trio to argue against here in this spot. So Kansas City Chiefs -1.5 for 3 units.
Yeah, and I mean, me and you have been talking about it. Is number 15 there's kind of getting in the same territory as Tom Brady, where if he's going to keep being in these Super Bowls, man, you really you really feel like an idiot when you're betting against him every year and losing every year. So
Yeah,
it'd be good for us to be on the side of the Red Kingdom in this one, Josh.
no
Uh,
doubt.
you do also have a same game parlay that you've put together now.
Yeah.
It's not going to be an official play for us, so for the folks that are looking to maybe get some more action in this game, what are some things that they can look at there?
Yeah, okay. So I put together a 5 leg same game parlay here. Pays it's plus 575 or 6.75 using decimal odds. First one we're going here, and this is probably the public's favorite bet of the Super Bowl here, is Dallas Goedert's receiving yards in this game. I absolutely love it. It's been bet up all week. It's been bet up since the lines were dropped here. But what we're gonna do is take them on a reduced line here, a little bit of a tease here. So we're gonna go Dallas Goedert to record 30 plus receptions in this game. Quite simply, the reason for this is love the matchup outside for the Kansas City Chiefs defensively against the AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. I also think that we'll see if Steve Spagnuolo makes Jalen Hurts hold the football. I think that Jalen Hurts is going to be looking Dallas Goedert's way a lot here. And Dallas Goedert also has been targeted a ton in the playoffs. You can see his role increasing since he's gotten healthier and healthier again. Since he's returned from injury, Dallas Goedert is a big piece of this offense once again, and he will see his fair share of targets in this game. And the Chiefs have been absolutely terrible, actually the league worst at defending tight ends when you're talking about yards allowed to the position. So Dallas Goedert, 30 plus receptions. I teased it a little bit earlier, foreshadow. Patrick Mahomes to record 20 plus rushing yards in this game. I saw somebody kind of throw out there, actually just earlier today, I was listening to something, and Patrick Mahomes to lead the Kansas City Chiefs. If there's a bet out there, Patrick Mahomes to lead the Chiefs in rushing yards in this game. I haven't seen it, but if that's available at a sports book somewhere, absolutely think that's worth hitting. I think Patrick Mahomes, I just, like I mentioned before, Kareem Hunt, don't see him, and Isaiah Pacheco just is obviously still injured and not his full self right now, even with a little bit of rest there. I just don't see the Chiefs having much success on the ground, and Patrick Mahomes dropping back, and he's probably going to be flushed a couple of times from this front four, and he's probably going to need to rush and pick up some yards here. So Patrick Mahomes to record 20 plus rushing yards. Another one, a little bit of a dicier one, maybe add some juice to this, was Xavier Worthy over 5.5 rushing yards in this game. Listen, Xavier's going to get at least one rush in this game here. It's just that's what Andy Reid loves to do. It's what he loves to dial up. It's what the Chiefs love to do. They love to figure something out. Now the big thing here is how many options does he get, and if he gets stuffed on the first option, they run for -5 yards. Can he do enough? How many times? How many more opportunities will he get to get over 5.5 rushing yards? But regardless, I think I trust Andy Reid enough to time this up well enough to allow Xavier Worthy an open lane here and catch the Eagles defense sleeping a little bit at the wheel. So Xavier Worthy over 5.5 rushing yards in this one. Fourth leg of this one, and this is one of my favorite plays of the week. Zach Bond, the linebacker for the Philadelphia Eagles, over 10.5 tackles and assists. This has been bet up. This is going to be a big Zach Bond game. A couple reasons here. Kansas City Chiefs, I mentioned, they don't stretch the field. This is going to be over the middle, quick passes, even out to the sideline. Zach Bond without Nakobe Dean. Sorry, his name was escaped me for a second. Without Nakobe Dean there's now anymore, and Nakobe Dean hurt, obviously. This middle of the Philadelphia Eagles defense is hinging. It's on Zach Bond's shoulders. Zach Bond needs to have a big game here. I think the game is going to flow to him, whether it's through the run game, whether it's through a quick pass game for the Chiefs, whatever. Zach Bond's going to be in on a lot of action here. He's going to have to be a difference maker in this game if the Philadelphia Eagles want to come out on top. Zach Bond over 10.5 tackles and assists. And the final play here, Travis Kelce. I talked about him. He's going to need to be involved. Travis Kelce, we're going to tease his line down. His line is at 6.5 receptions right now. We're going to tease him down to 5+ receptions. Travis Kelce has never, ever in a game, in a season deciding game, as long as Patrick Mahomes has been there, has never gone below this number. He has never gone, I believe, below 6 receptions since I guess it would have been 2018 in a season deciding game, whether that's the AFC Championship when they lost to the Bengals, or whether that's in any of the Super Bowls that they've went to since. Travis Kelce, when the season is on the line and it matters most, especially when you're talking about late in the game, Travis Kelce is going to get the ball a few times in this game. So 5+ receptions for Travis Kelce. Should I give I got 2 other plays that is not a part of the same game, but I like. Should I share them now or?
Let's hear them. Let's hear them. Let's hear the leans.
All right. So a couple that I really like here, if they're available to you in your book. This one's just paying kind of even money here. Both quarterbacks to complete their first pass attempt is a really strong one, I think. You're talking about 2 teams that have had 2 weeks to literally script this one play. This first play out of the gates here, or they might be scripting their first. They're obviously scripting their first 10 to 15 plays, or whatever. But for them to get out of the gate strong and obviously off some sort of a play action, I think is where it's going to come for Jalen Hurts, or maybe just a quick drop back, flip it to hopefully Dallas Goedert on a 4-yard gain. Something along those lines. And then Patrick Mahomes has, I think, in his 4 Super Bowls been 3-1 on this. The only one that hasn't completed for him on this was I think they tried a little check down or a little screen over to Damian Williams. I think that would have been against the 49ers. And I think it was some defensive line, probably like Nick Bosa or something like that like just knocked it down at the line. So again, high percentage throws are probably going to come out of the gates here for these teams. Nobody's taking a deep shot down the field probably. So expect a high percentage throw. Even money, both quarterbacks to complete their first pass attempt. And the last one, this is a little bit of a flyer, but I really like it. I talked about how much I like Dallas Goedert in this game. I like the spot for him. Dallas Goedert to lead all players in receiving yards in this game. Is paying $7.50 on your decimal odds. And so I think that's worth some sort of a flyer. I think Dallas is going to have a lot of opportunity in this game. Like I said, Kansas City Chiefs stink at covering tight ends. You're talking about on the other side, who's probably likely to be the Kansas City Chiefs leading target? Probably going to be Travis Kelce, unless you see a couple deep shots to Hollywood Brown or Xavier Worthy, whatever the deal is. But more than likely it's going to be Travis Kelce. But the Eagles know that it's going to Travis Kelce. So, how much yak is Travis Kelce able to get, out of these? I don't know. I don't know if it's as much. And I think Dallas Goedert has been proven he can get that yak, and the Kansas City Chiefs are willing to kind of give up that yak. So Dallas Goedert to lead all players in receiving yards, I think is a worthwhile flyer in Super Bowl LIX.
Okay, and also the boys are always riding tails on the coin toss.
Oh, you already know it. Tails.
Let's get the blood flowing for sure.
Of course.
All right, so cool little look into some of the things Josh is leaning on there for some props, and obviously one of the most fun parts of the Super Bowl is filling them out. But then, of course, we will have our big bet: Chiefs -1.5 for 3 units. Josh, that's gonna be the play for us here. And that's who we're going to be rolling with. You mentioned your same game, so a lot to cheer for in this one.
Yeah, hopefully. And then obviously the night before the Super Bowl, we're officially going to cash our Jared Verse to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think that's pretty much a lock at this point. So that'll be nice for the folks. If you tailed us from the beginning of the season, looking for, I think that's going to be a +11.5 unit. I want to say +11 unit bump there in that. So that'll help the end of season numbers, of course, as well. Hopefully we can finish on a strong note here, and then folks, it won't be too long before we're taking off the tarp off the diamond here, and it's Bryce's turn.
Yeah, I'm fired up. We have about eight MLB futures already on the watch list. So we're gonna wither that down. That'll probably be the next time you see us, and hopefully that'll be coming in the next couple weeks here. I'm waiting for a few things, and we're gonna start letting these things fly. So keep it locked on the email and the newsletter. Some plays will be coming out, and keep it locked on X at TJC Bets, and keep it locked right here on the YouTube, folks. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate you rocking with us all football season. Hopefully, let's go out with a bang here, Josh. Kansas City -1.5 for 3 units, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you next time.
Peace.